Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here in game number 5 at the After Hours Gaming League Week 6 in our match between Google and Amazon. Of course, we've seen a very back and forth series between these two teams. We're finally here at the ace match. Let's introduce our players. At the bottom right hand side is our red Protoss player coming out for Google. He's going to try and finish up this after his win in the previous game with some epic DT action. It is Cake. That sounds really funny when you do it that way. His opponent over to the bottom left hand side is our blue Terran player. He is back after taking a TVT with some really cool Reaper action. It is AHGL. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know. I was doing it that way before, but hopefully that is good enough. Well, I mean, you know, we've had some really cool games. We'll see what AHGL is going to get up to, because of course he did some Reaper play in the first game. Looks like he is going to get started. Just has a quick look. I do like that. I like when people just have a quick look down. You say, is there something fishy going on down at the bottom of the ramp or anything like that? Nope. All right, cool. Well, let's get the barracks started. I really like when people do that. Well, we'll keep an eye on Cake, because of course Cake was the one who did the most interesting of builds in the previous game with the double gas before the cyber is up. Get started on the first gas. Will he get the second one? We'll keep an eye on that. And of course, you know, AHGL with his Reaper play was the one who got started with that kind of early harassment in his game against Alex. So, you know, I'll be interested to see what's going on. No second gas as of yet from our Protoss player Cake. It looks like he is just going to go with the standard sort of play for the moment. Going to throw down that cybernetic score in just a second. There it is. Meanwhile, his probe just scouting out, trying to find out what's going on. Has a quick look around, checks the gas. No gas at all for AHGL just as of yet. So there's going to be no Reapers. There is also, of course, the highly likely chance of an expansion just down here. Throw that command center up. You've got a nice little ramp that can be relatively easily defended there, and well, you know, we'll see how far things go, because you know, this is a pretty big map, and this is, you know, you've got your expansions, you've got your third base down here, very easy to take. Some people like to take this as their third base sometimes as well. We may see if we get to that point. What I would really like to see is some air base play from our Protoss player. Of course, this is a very common way to play out this map. There is this very simple sort of pathway. You can fly past all these buildings, jump an oracle into the mineral line, and just absolutely go to town on that mineral line. So, you know, we'll see if a Cake is going to get up to that. He is still just scouting around at the moment, not sure what this probe is up to. May want to put that on one of the watchtowers to keep an eye on that, but there is a Stargate, and in fact, was that spotted? No, it wasn't spotted. I'm sure that SCV was in range there. That was really weird. But the SCV apparently did not get a shot on what is coming up there from the Protoss player. Cake going up to a Stargate along with 3 gates to follow that up. There is quite a possibility of a Prism, sorry, not a Prism, a Void Array based play coming out of Cake at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that particular style. Of course, that has seen quite a lot of usage lately. Maybe if you watch the GSTL in the match between Startail and Azubu, in the first female versus female match between Aphrodite and Eve, we saw Eve going for a proxy Stargate with a Void Ray coming up shortly after, and it's going to be this very similar sort of build here from Cake. So he's going to get his Warp Gate tech up and running as quickly as possible. Where is the probe? There it is. We do have a probe in the middle of the map. We'll probably see him throw down a pylon very soon. Meanwhile, for AHGL, what has he got at the moment? Just a few Marines right as of now, just 6 at the moment. Of course, he does have 3 racks in total. He's researching Stim right now. Of course, the big thing about this, if Stim gets up, this kind of Void Ray play becomes very difficult to actually completely execute here. So it looks like AHGL throws down a scan, sees that there is no extra Nexus down at the natural base, and you know, he's going to have to throw down a couple of bunkers straight away. In fact, 2 is probably not enough. You would need to get a third one down there as well. He does have an eBay just building up right now, so he can put down a turret as well. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, the Protoss units now moving into position. We got a couple on the ground. Of course, the first of the Void Rays is on the way across. There is a Marine that is patrolling an interesting area here. The Void Ray is just going to miss it, yeah. because the Marine is at the southern part of its patrol. But, well, AHGX trying to prepare this missile turret right at the back here, so this is not going to help out too well against the Void Ray that is going to come across. And, of course, you need to keep in mind, with the prismatic alignment, these guys do extra damage against the buildings, of course, because buildings are armored. So here we go, it looks like the attack will be on. There is enough energy for a Guardian Shield. There it is. We'll have maybe 1 or 2 force fields going down from Cake as well. In fact, no. Prism just, the Void Ray, sorry, with the prismatic alignment just burns apart that entire bunker there and gets it taken down very quickly. Meanwhile, inside the main, this SCV is like, oh dears, guys, there is a Void Ray coming. And they already know about that. It looks like we do have a lot of trouble here for AHGX. The Void Ray has backed off for the moment because it was in a little bit of trouble, of course, because of the turrets that were there. But now with the 2 turrets gone, Cake is going to be sitting in a very happy position right now. It looks like that SCV is trying to do what he can. In fact, wow, forcing a warp in of a Zealot. I'm not sure how I feel about that warp in from Cake, but either way, the prismatic alignment back up in operation. The bunker just gets annihilated there, and I think that our Terran player is in quite a lot of trouble, which means Amazon is in a lot of trouble. Of course, AHGX doing his best to try and hold back this attack, but the Void Ray with its prismatic alignment does so much damage. Still got a little bit of cooldown left to go, and his stim is finished as well. So, you know, if he can group up some of these Marines, then maybe, but unfortunately, there is just way too much inside already. A time warp goes down, slowing down the SCV so he can kite back a little bit better, and with more Stalkers now pouring in, AHGX is going to have to tap out. There is no way he can finish this off. The Mothership core is now going to work on these SCVs as well, and with a little bit of micro, the Stalkers are able to polish off the rest of those workers. So our win this week will go to Team Google, with Cake finishing off with a couple of very quick games in games number 4 and 5. Hope you have enjoyed the series this week. Make sure you go and subscribe to the AHGL channel. You can also go subscribe to me, youtube.com/DuckVILLELOL. You can also catch me streaming on twitch.tv/DuckVILLELOL, and also on Twitter as well. So yeah, we'll go into week number 7 next week and see who is going to take another victory. Of course, the playoffs coming up very soon, so make sure you are staying tuned to the After Hours Gaming League Season 3, and I will see you all next week.